Hey lovelies, my name is Loveless, and it's time for another 90-day Fiance reading. This time we're looking at Mahogany and Ben. Made sure I pronounce her name right. I low-key think she resents the hog part of her name. What do you think? In any event, I don't have the highest opinion of Mahogany. There's just something very deceptive about her that Ben, and I think other 90-day Fiance fans picked up on. I mean, did you see her tell-all? I don't know what you're talking about. She is the queen of Duper's delight with her lying smiles. That empty Airbnb looking apartment, I mean, come on. Even Ben couldn't convince himself that she wasn't lying about it. So what do the stars say? Or more accurately, what do I see the stars saying? Mahogany is the moon in Taurus, and Ben is Saturn in Aquarius. Right off the bat, this isn't too good of a pairing. In traditional astrology, the moon and Saturn are said to be natural enemies. Yikes. The chart I made for this topic appears to be mostly from Mahogany's perspective. Cancer is rising here, and I really did get Cancer zodiac sign energy from Mahogany. In any event, she does look like a person who has the moon or Cancer sign strong in her natal chart. She has a very round face, and I do find her very feminine and pretty, even without the filters. The moon in Taurus is a powerful and fortunate position for Mahogany, especially in the 11th house. The 11th house is windfalls, like winning the lottery, and friends, fans, and supporters. Good fortune, material acquisition. This is a long-term forecast for Mahogany, so she will easily attract friends and supporters even after the show. So there are good things in store for her. The moon, along with Uranus here, suggests a bit of fame. So Mahogany has a bit of an uppity, bougie vibe, doesn't she? The moon in Taurus is someone, a woman or feminine person, who thinks very highly of themselves, and there is some truth to it. She seems to have something going for her. The moon is joined to the Greek lots, sentiment and negotiation. Greek lots show themes at play. There's not much information about Greek lots, but sentiment, this must be speaking of how she's feeling towards Ben. The moon in sextile to Neptune and square to Mercury shows that her sentiment is at worst a complete lie, and at the least very confusing. Negotiation. On the show, there were definitely a few conversations between Ben and Mahogany where they attempted to negotiate the direction of the relationship. Of course, there's more to explain the energy going on between her and Ben and how she acts around Ben. We'll get to it. The ascendant, which represents Mahogany's energy, is joined to the fixed star Tehat. I might have added a bit of a Spanish pronunciation there. I think it's Tezat, actually. Tezat is a star on the left foot of the northern twin, brings difficulties through pride and overconfidence. Nature of Mercury and Venus. This would be a negative indication. I do think Mahogany does have a lot of pride and wants to be seen a certain way, and it's not necessarily productive as it's hurting her reputation. Speaking of reputation, normally, Jupiter in Pisces here at the 10th house with Neptune is showing a great reputation, and someone who's able to put on a very beautiful image. Interestingly, the Greek lot, religion, and the honesty of women is joined to Jupiter. Very interesting, as she does try to put on the image that she's a devout Christian. Do they teach ghosting and avoiding people who fly from another country in that Bible though? Let's look at the sun. We have the sun here, afflicting, that is, bringing negative energy to Jupiter and Neptune, greatly tarnishing this image. The sun in this figure rules the internet, media, and more specifically to Mahogany, how she communicates and the things she tells to others. The sun with Neptune, I see, indicate her lies and deception. The sun hides and damages planets near it. She is hiding the truth of her status and image she presents to others by the things she says. The sun, along with Tezat, suggest these lies are done for prideful reasons, entertaining reasons, to perform and have a certain image. Essentially, the sun shows how she has ruined her reputation through the things she says. Lastly, the moon square Mercury, along with all the other things I've mentioned, confirms someone who does not always speak truthfully, especially when the person is suspected of being a liar. What does Mercury represent, by the way? Mahogany's home. So she really was lying about her apartment. Let's talk about Ben. Like my reading on Gino, appropriately, as an older man who seems to be doing well for himself, he is Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the sign Aquarius is the direction west or northwest. Indeed, Michigan, where Ben hails from, is directly northwest of Peru. Notice for Mahogany, Ben is in her 9th house. Most relevantly, this is the house of religion and foreign travel. Ben, as the dignified Saturn in Aquarius here, and most powerful planet in this chart, states it is not an act. He really is devoted to his religion and a good guy for the most part, and I think she really believes this about him as well. That wasn't a lie. In the relationship chart, however, it's not necessarily advantageous to be the most powerful and have the most control of the relationship. If the energy isn't reciprocated, it becomes overbearing or one-sided. In Ben's case, he has taken the idea of the relationship on so strongly that he's the only one in it. Mercury here with Saturn is a malefic for Ben. That means Mercury represents destructive energy for Ben. With what Mercury rules in this chart, this is destruction through bad communication or lack thereof, and secrets. Remember before I spoke about the damaging influence of the Sun? From Ben's perspective, the Sun represents his long-distance travels, so we are seeing trouble abroad for Ben here, through Mahogany's deception. Mars and Venus in Ben's 2nd house are very interesting. They represent love and romance in this chart. The 2nd house is money, so Ben does invest money in the hopes of obtaining love and romance. Pluto right on the money house is a little suspicious, but I'll leave it at that. Let's talk about Ben and Mahogany together, the relationship between their planets, the Moon and Saturn. The energy isn't good here, with the Moon square Saturn. There is too much coldness in this relationship. They do not get along well. They don't get along at all. They are both strongly opinionated individuals and stubborn. A relationship can only go so far when there is no compromise or give and take. Interestingly, I don't see that Ben is really in love with Mahogany. Rather, I think the idea of the relationship gives him fulfillment. Mahogany seems to be happy with her current situation and really has no feelings for Ben. Deep down, she actually has contempt for him. She dislikes him. Let's look at the Greek lots, Hour of Marriage and marriage contracts. These lots I see as representing a potential relationship. They are joined to the lot of Fortune, which represents the potential success of this relationship. And well, there is none. The Moon, Mahogany, is square Mercury, and this square is particularly blocking here. Mahogany is fundamentally against any relationship with Ben. There really is just nothing there. Well, that's my reading on Ben and Mahogany. I'll see you in the next one very soon.